Hello, I'm Allura, and I'm going to be going over my database for Lab 1, and my database that I've been assigned to is Gold Star Security. So, to go on, all I have to do is obviously enter in my password, and then do show databases. That can show every database that I do have imported, and then once I do that, I can just do use Gold Star Security, which is the name of my database, and this is how I'm going to get inside the database to grab the stuff, which you can see right here. It says database change. And once that happens, all I have to do is show tables, and then it shows all my tables in my database, which is question 1, what entities / tables in your database, and there are 12 rows or 12 tables that I do have in my database. Coming here into my diagram, there are 12 different tables or entities that I do have. So question 2 now is, what do the two most important tables look like in my text file and in MySQL? So I believe the most important tables that I do have right here are going to be service and service job. I believe that these two are the most important just because they do all point to at least 3 different data tables. Now how that works is right here when I come to the service table, you can see that the primary key obviously is service, so that's itself, or the service ID is inside service. And then there is 2 constraints, which is the service type and service level, which points to the service type code and also a service type level code, which are 2 other keys. And these point to 2 different tables, which is the service type table and then the service level table that are right here. Service goes to service type, and then it can also go to service level, which is what these 2 constraints are, which is a foreign key, and we'll get to that further in the video. And then I also believe that service job is another important key because there is also 2 foreign keys pointing to 2 other databases, and also another one that has service ID, package number, and transaction ID, which are 3 other primary IDs. So this is probably why I think that service job is a bigger one. And to show it in MySQL, I'm going to go to describe service, which gives me all the attributes in these tables. So for the service table, we have the service ID, service type code, service level code, so on, and these are the service attributes. I'm going to go to service, or describe service underscore job. I can see service job tables attribute, all its attributes right here. So, and then if I do want to go and select the data, this is select star, I'm going to select all the data from these tables to relate to them. So right here we have select from service, and this is all the data in this table. And then I can also go select from service underscore job, and then it has all the data in this table. So now this service ID, I can go service ID 1 right here, and that's going to point to this column right here from the table service. So there's a service type code and service level code, which if I do want to go to the service type code, all I have to do is just do select this, and then it is from service underscore type. And here is the service type code column that this column points to right here. We go all the way down to service type code, which this is a foreign key. We are grabbing data from another table. So that's a foreign key, and I'll explain that in question 3. So this is why I believe that these two are the most important tables just because they are tied into essentially 6 different tables together and pulling data from each table. Now the third question is, explain what primary and foreign keys are and show a foreign key that connects to a primary keys in a parent table. So for this one, a primary key is a unique and never changing. So like this in my diagram, we have a person ID, and this person ID can never change, such as if this is a username. Of course, a database doesn't want you to change your username, and it is invalid when you try to do another username because the database relies on this person ID, so therefore it can never change. And then we can see this person ID is also an associate in the associate table, so meaning that this person ID can be also pulled from person. So in a foreign key is when a key is in one table that refers to another table. So we can see another foreign key from right here. So we have the service ID is a primary key in the service table, but then service ID also pops up in service job. So just like what we see right over here, service job, we do see service ID 1. We go all the way back to service ID in the service table, and we do see 1. So we are pulling information from service into a service job. That's what foreign key, and this one does have 2 foreign keys, so package number. You can also pull the package number from, there's service job has package number, and then I can also go to select from and from service underscore, let me see what it's called, just package, and there we can see that the service ID is also in package and it is also in service table. So that is the foreign key right here. And then the fourth question is, then show your diagram in Draw.io and give an example of each of the following database, describing why the example you are satisfies the definition. So one-to-one relationship. So this one was pretty simple. There's is when only one ID can only go to another relationship. It's only one, you can only have one of one. And the best example of that is the language. So from service to a language preference. So the language preference can only have one service or one, and the service can only have one language. You can't really have 0 as your language preference. It's usually English, Spanish, German, etc. You can't really put none of the above. You have to obviously know a language, which is why service can only have one language. And of course you can't have a language without having a person or the service. So that's why this is a one-to-one relationship from service to language preference. So a one-to-many, so a good one right here would be language preference to languages. So a language preference can have one language, which is why we have that one right there, that little line. But that person can also know many languages, which is why we have a one-to-many right here, because a person can know multiple languages or one language. Like I only know English, but some people can know English and Spanish, and that's many languages. So then another one is the many-to-many relationships. And we see that here in service job, where we have this many-to-many relationship right here. So how that works is this service job can have 0 service, or it can have many jobs. So it can have, so that's a 0 to many. And then same thing with package. So the job can have 0 packages, or it can have many different packages. Or the package can have many different jobs. So that is the many-to-many relationship right here. And then a recursive relationship is right over here where we have the associate table with the person ID and the supervisor ID, which can also be shown all right here. So I do believe, Professor, that we might have not put in the right reference for the associate table because it did say person first, but when I was going through the whole thing, it didn't say, I could not find it recursive. So I might be wrong, but this might be associate. I could also be wrong, but just like your video, this one is a recursive statement because this is the associate table and we are pulling the supervisor person ID that references itself, which is the person ID. So since it's recursive, it's because this associate table is pointing to itself. And we do see that here. So when I do go all the way down and do, oops, I hate when it does this. So I do select, I go select associate, select from associate. So we can see that the supervisor ID is 1 and it points to 1 itself. That's why I believe that this should be associate and not person, like what you put in my thing previously. So this is recursive because it can be 0 to 1 for the supervisor ID, and the supervisor ID can be 0 to 1 or many employee IDs for the person ID. So that's a recursive relationship right there. And of course, this is what my diagram looks like right here. Okay, thank you.